Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Property Zone Live. I'm Sean here. Good to have everyone with me again. And the topic for today, post-COVID. What are the new trends in property sectors after COVID-19? I think just a couple years ago, 2.5 years ago, we need to go register our MySejahtera every place we go. Okay, we need to wear our mask, whether indoor and outdoor. So now we no longer need to wear our mask outside. We no longer to do MySejahtera inside. So we can see our life has changed from previously no COVID, entering COVID, and after that post-COVID. But at the same time, we also witness some changes in property sectors. We're breaking down into like industrial, commercial, retail, residential, so on and so forth. And this is actually some of the information I got in attending one of the board of valuers for some of our rent. We need to attend and renew our license so that we can attend this continuous learning program. And these are the data and information they've shared with us. So it's hot out from the oven. And I would like to take this opportunity to share with you this in-depth and updated market information as well. Okay, without further ado, I'm just going to pull out the slide that I have done, and so everybody can have a look, and you can get some of the latest information about what's going on in the whole world. So board of valuers, appraiser, estate agents, and property managers. These are the class I have recently attended along with my colleagues, and during the class they had provided us the in-depth and up-to-date information about post-COVID new property trend in the various sectors of the property market. Okay, so I think before I start sharing the slide, I think we need to put on our thinking cap and also think about, because the information that I'm going to share with you would not just limited to Malaysia. It's actually a worldwide trend, okay, happening to various sectors of the property. Okay, we have seen something in Korea, we have seen something in US. So we need to put on thinking cap is whatever new trends happening in US post-COVID, would Malaysia be the same? Is Malaysia expecting to go through the same trend, or will be unique from that? I think we need to put on the thinking cap. Same things, no? Things happen in Europe, things happen in Korea, even things happening in our neighboring country like Singapore. Whether will the same trend happen in Malaysia, or would it be lasting as well? Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing, are those trends short-term or permanent? Okay, some of the things, for example, we do a lot of Zoom classes, everything. Now school is back. We can see most of our children, most of the students will go back to school and attend physical class. But Zoom meeting, especially, will have a company across borders. Okay, they have officers, they have staff around the world. I think Zoom meeting, even though the border has opened up, will be there to stay. So if you take the same example, looking back to property sectors, what are the changes in trend that will be temporary? What will be the trends in property will remain permanent? Okay, without further ado, let me just go on. Okay, according to the latest, I'm just going to move on to residential sector first. So the first data and information shared out during the class, and I'm here to share with you, is actually about what's going on in the US. In 2017 to 2019, the average net outflow of people moving out from US urban means city center. Okay, people dying out, maybe they don't want to cope up with the traffic, they don't want to cope up with they can't cope up with the high rental, maybe the stress. So you see people moving out from the city center. In the year of 2017 to 2019, they are average about 28,000, okay, per month. But the figures has doubled up to 56,000 after March 2020, which is after COVID. It means that people are moving out from city. The number has actually doubled. More people are moving out from the city center towards suburb. And the reason they are moving out, of course, they will want a larger space. From the same rental they are paying, for the same house price they are paying, they get to enjoy larger space. Okay, there's actually very straightforward thinking as well. Second thing, high rise versus landed. Because land is so expensive in city center, if you take Malaysia or Kuala Lumpur as an example, right, the same price that you pay for 1,000 square feet in the city center itself, in KL, you can actually buy maybe a double-story link house or maybe a link house with a corner unit using the same price. But now because of the hygiene issues, people are adapted. People are getting used to have their personal space. They don't want to share the car park. They don't want to share the common facilities. They don't want to share the lift with other people in the same community. So they decide landed will be their preferred choices. There's another trend they are observing in residential, and you are seeing some of the unit layout in particulars, especially the off the plan or under constructions. They are creating a work from home space, a study room. They cater for people, when they have meeting, when they have interviews, they have discussion online. There's a dedicated office feel within their unit itself. That's first thing. Second thing, you also realize a lot of new development, even in Malaysia. Okay, the developer has actually put on a business center within their compound, within the project and property itself. Other than just a normal swimming pool, gym room, wading pool, they now have business center. People actually can take a lift down from their house and enter a business center. They do a business online, but with a proper ambience, proper setup. This is what we call a proper work from home environment and also a hybrid working environment in the latest trend. Okay, people prefer outdoor space and balcony. Not surprised. Actually, one of the statistics has shown that 9 in 10 workers prefer some flexibility in where and when they work. I think most bosses would have no problem as long as the productivity are maintained. Okay. Now, when it comes to office, same. What you're seeing in the residential, you will actually reflect it in the office sector as well. They are looking for the hybrid work models. Okay. Uh, Maybe 2 days in office, 3 days work from home. Flexibility desk policy. I think some of the things that are new to us is like desk hoteling and hot desking means what? Some of the company may be downsizing their size. They will still require an office, but there will be no longer a dedicated workstation to one person, right? It's no longer, okay, this is my workstation. What they will do a rotation. It means that, okay, maybe on Monday, okay, I will using this workstation, a desk as my workstation. But if I'm not from the office, then I will have my colleagues coming in. They will be using that desk. So there would be no longer a permanent workstation dedicated to a single employee. They're just doing a rotation and use it as a common space. Of course, touchless control system entering from car park to the office no longer require a human touch, minimize the chance of getting contracted with the virus. Migration to the crowd. I think people who are in the IT software online will know this very well because most people no longer coming to office physically at any single point of time. So whatever whatever projects they work on, in order to keep updated, they will require a cloud system that allow everyone to access and understand what's the latest, what's going on using the cloud system. Where as long as they have internet at home, they can access and keep a breath of everything. Okay. Now, these are some of the articles they've shared as well. If you look at, according to Bloomberg, HSBC CEO plans for permanent. Now, I think the word permanent will actually give an idea of this hybrid work system. And also Google's approved small staff work remotely or they want to relocate as well. Okay. Now, the third sector's retail. Okay. In Malaysia, when things open up, we are seeing a lot of people queuing up to buy the stuff. Physical shopping is something cannot be replaced by online shopping. So what we are seeing a revenge buying scenario. But according to Malaysia Shopping Mall Association presidents, it said that actually more than 30% of the tenants have already closed shop. They cannot withstand all the cost, all the capital outflow during this challenging time. Okay, some of the retail space, I'm talking about overseas example, they have actually repurposed to fulfillment centers, distribution centers, warehouse. And very important, one of the very interesting things, some of the malls have been converted into indoor vertical greens and fish farms. Okay, you can see here, Amazon is snapping up disused shopping malls and turning them into fulfillment centers. These are one of the things they have repurposed the mall and turned into fulfillment center example. And the other one you see is a former Target store. Target store is a departmental store in US, okay, near Chicago, and turned them into indoor vertical farms. During the past 2 years, what we have seen is due to COVID disruption of supply chain, due to the war between Russia and Ukraine, and also latest because of the drastic weather, because the high energy prices, shortage of food has come into a very acute point, turning an abandoned or disused uh, shopping mall, retail mall, into a vertical farms to create more food when the structure is already there. I think this is one of the most genius idea. Turn something that is no longer in use, but into something not only is profitable, but is also, what should I say, provide something is in need for humankind. Okay. Now the next one is industrial. Okay, I want to make a disclaimer. I'm not an expert in industrial area, but some of the information that I share, if you're in logistic line, if you're in warehousing, you're in industrial line, I think you will know this better. Okay, ASEAN is becoming an attractive destination for nearshoring location for shared services, logistics, and manufacturing. Okay, the trend observed now is called nearshoring and omnisharing. I actually do some research in Google's, and if you're not too sure about the meaning of the terms, maybe we can actually go through that together as well. Real-time monitoring using the Internet of Things and 5G, they will really know what are the things are being utilized, being replenished real-time in their warehouse. Okay, they no longer use a human to do the stock counting. Automation in logistic, warehouse and distribution, they are talking about the last mile distribution. That's very important. Now, let's have a look in some of the information I found. What is nearshoring? Here they are talking about nearshoring and offshoring in logistic term. Now, nearshoring means outsourcing your project or works to a company from a nearby country. So I think nearshoring, the word is quite straightforward. You assign your things to a nearby country. For example, Singapore to Malaysia. For example, US to Mexico or US to Canada. Offshoring is outsourcing, okay, to a distant countries. I think in this case, maybe you look at it as a brand in US, Apple, being manufactured in China. Okay, this is another other examples of offshoring. What about omnishoring? Omnishoring is a complex portfolio of multiple sourcing, okay, whether it's close and far, according to the product and their degree of innovation and complementing each other. I think where they actually want to do their manufacturing is no longer just looking at the labor cost itself already. Okay, so I think if you are on the line, I think you are probably observing the same trend in industrial, in the warehousing line as well. Okay. Now the good news is, according to South China Morning Post, Greater Kuala Lumpur offer ideas nearshoring hubs for firm focus on Southeast Asia. Okay, so hopefully they can create more job for gig workers. Last but not least, I think during the COVID times, one of the biggest hit, hardest hit industry is hotel. Uh, so now COVID, hopefully we can put COVID behind us. And what the association has come up with international arrival, not just domestic tourism alone. What okay are needed for full recovery. Okay, during school holiday, during public holiday, during long weekends, we see a lot of Facebook people are traveling to Penang, Ipoh, Bentong, Malacca. You know, the streets are crowded, traffic jams is horrendous. Uh, but domestic tourism alone are not enough to put the hotel into full recovery path. We need international. We need international tourists to fill up the rest of the gap for one thing. Because they come in, they will not come in the long holiday, they will come in the normal days. This is this is the bread and butter for the hotel as well. Second, spending power. Spending power due to the weak ringgit. Overseas tourists, international tourists, if you do the conversion, they will find that they actually have higher spending power due to the weak ringgit. Okay, this is what we need. Hopefully, when things open up, we are seeing more and more international tourists coming in. So what is going on in the hotel sectors is those are got hit bad time, they need to repurpose. So one of the things the hotel has actually turned into residential. If you look at one of the branded hotel in Korea was took over at 700 billion won and turned into residential. This is in the Asia part, but in Washington, a 224 rooms hotel also turned into an apartment building. And not only that, confinement medical center, all right, hotel turned into confinement and medical centers. In Malaysia, right in the northern state in Penang, right, a boutique hotel has just turned into a postnatal confinement center. I think you look at the layout, you look at the setup, I think it's a perfect transition, okay, turning into a confinement center. And hotels in Malaysia, KL, PJ have converted into a COVID-19 low-risk quarantine and treatment center. Okay, you've seen friends coming in from overseas the past 2 years. Before they are able to go back to their house, right? They actually have to stay in the hotel during this quarantine period. So basically, this is a snapshot of what are the changes that we have observed in property trend, in residential, hotel, retail, industrial, and offices. These 5 sectors. Okay, but as I say in the beginning, okay, I'm just gonna stop my slide here. So coming back to the important things, what we need to take care of, we need to rethink is how many of the trends will be unique to overseas only, or is it also happening in Malaysia? And how much of the things that the trend has created, the new trend has created during the COVID, will be here to stay? Whether they are the trend will be just a temporary phenomenon, or there will be a permanent trend. So let's wait and see. So with this, I thank you so much for your time and spend with us. I hope some of the info that I've shared just now is helpful and informative to you. So with this, thank you very much. I see you next round. Sean Lee here, Property Zone Live. Good night. Bye-bye.